Welcome to the White Chair Beauty Series.
Hello.
Episode 3.
Episode 3.
Yep. And this episode is mainly about burnout, why estheticians quit, the struggles and the mental aspect of it. It's a really hard industry if you're not prepared and know exactly what you're getting into. So let's just dive into it. What our first question is, what does burnout really feel like to a solo esthetician or a solo business owner?
Well, sometimes when you're a solo business owner, you only have yourself to fall back on, and that can be a lot of pressure. Also, you could feel burnout if your books are full, and you should be happy because of that, but you feel drained because in this industry, you really have to give a lot of your energy to people, and you have to know when
I know what you're getting at. I remember when we first started. Your timing was, you did brow waxes, and your timing was 20-minute increments of 20 minutes per service. And then we started getting busy, and I was, hey, we can get more clients in the door, and we lowered it down to 15 minutes. And I think after probably 2 months went by, you're like, babe, I can't do this anymore. I can't. Not like you don't want to work, but you're like, I can't do these 15 minutes anymore.
No, because it's emotionally draining. Like every client that comes in, you want to give them the best version of yourself. You want to be, because you truly are excited when you see, at least for me, every time I see a client, it's like an old friend, and you are excited to see them. You want to catch up, but I have to give the same level of energy to every single person. And throughout the day, I'm okay, but at the end of my day is when I crash because I've given all of myself. So I've had to learn to have boundaries and try not to take everything in, like do different things to cope with that, whether it be exercise or meditation or just like letting go of everything and not letting it follow you after your shift, basically, because you're almost like kind of a therapist.
Yeah, and I do apologize. Our baby is in the back, or she's literally in front of us right now. She woke up and we're still wanted to do this, so it's our dedication. So what keeps the motivational factor? Like, what keeps you motivated?
Well, the clients, because like I said, when you see them walk through the door and they tell you, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of that, like it's really great for me to hear their lives. And I personally, that's what I love about the job. I think, we share our lives to each other, but I love meeting new people, and I love creating the bond with clients, and that's what keeps me going personally.
Yeah. Burnout is a real thing when you overwork yourself, and then you figure out, like all of a sudden it hits you like, I'm not motivated to wake up every day.
I get in ruts where I'll be doing really amazing, really well. It actually just happened now, like especially now that I have 2 kids and a family and I travel to LA once a month. I get into these modes. Like I was just telling Sasan that I just feel I'm so tired. I'm so tired all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm sleeping well, and I'm doing all the things, but that means I maybe need to take a day off and do something for myself, or give back to myself. You have to know when
your limits and reward yourself.
When your limits are.
Yeah, agree. What are the early signs that you know you're running into a burnout? Like what?
Well, first and foremost, saying yes to every single appointment, no matter what time it was. If I was working a 8-hour day already and somebody wanted to come, and in the beginning that's okay because you want to keep your books full, but I think people sometimes, when you do it once, they expect you to do it forever. So I had to do boundaries where I'm like, no, once I had a family, I'm like, no, I work this time to this time, and I'm so sorry, but so that For me, I need to get my breaks in, especially now. I am personally breastfeeding, so I have to take that time to pump and take that time to eat and nourish myself and take time to get off my feet for a minute because, you know, in this industry, you are on your feet, you're using your body. If your body breaks down, that's your money makers. So you better take care of yourself. And that also comes with like exercise, eating right, being healthy, all of those things, because that will create a burnout too. If you're eating, you know, processed food all day long, you will get burned out. If you drink too much coffee, like I try to limit, you know, 1 cup of coffee a day, because I notice when I drink a ton of caffeine, that makes me burn out.
I agree. Skipping breaks, or when appointments go into your breaks.
Yeah, that's happened
clients,
before.
Coming in late. Sometimes so we give a 10-minute grace period. Anything after that, we're like, hey, if we can take you, we'll try to take you. But if not, I'm sorry. You know, we have to mark you as a no-show. Because if it gets into your break and you gradually do that throughout the week, then that causes a burnout, or that gives you unnecessary stress. And then it kind of like gets you like, ugh.
And that's a boundary too. Like you have to really set boundaries. Like it's hard for me to do that because I can tend to be a people pleaser, but I've gotten better at it as I've gone along. To really, like, if they're going into my lunch, I need to take that lunch for myself. Otherwise, because I've done that before where somebody comes in late, I take them for my lunch, I don't get a lunch, and then I just work all the way through, and then I'm like dead tired and hungry and, you know, all the things, right?
I know those days where you're like, I barely can take a lunch today, or stuff like that. So it's tough. And if you're a business owner, or obviously a business owner, and you have employees that work for you, they have to you put time off for their breaks, and you put time off for their lunch, either based on whatever state you live in. There's guidelines that you have to follow. So you do have to do that, and there's a reason for that, is that you need to give yourself a little break. How much of the burnout comes from overbooking and not having a system in place?
Definitely overbooking. Well, I guess you could probably answer that question a little better, right? Because you do all of the.
So it's better to be overbooked than not having appointments. But having generally a system in place is very important. I think the system in place is setting up breaks.
You want it to run like a well-oiled machine. You don't want to be like breaks all over the place, lunch all different times. Like I feel like I'm a creature of habit, so I can do the same thing every single day. But I feel like people will appreciate that if they work for you.
It's just, you do have to have a system in place, not just a booking system where you're getting your appointments, but just a general system that you follow every day. So your 10-minute breaks or 15-minute breaks that you set up, your hour lunches, and making sure, you know, you're just not overbooking is one thing, but what is overbooking then? Like, is it like more than X amount of appointments? What is overbooking to you?
To me, it would be you are not putting breaks in the middle of your day. So, like, if people are back to back to back to back to back to back, and maybe not giving yourself enough time for every appointment. Like when we did the 15-minute, I was always going over, and so I could never catch up. So making sure you have a time frame, and that might be 30 minutes to start. Like I used to do 30-minute brow waxes. Now I do 20. Thanks for watching the White Chair Beauty Podcast. Today we have a 50% off promo code for all of our viewers. Type in the White Chair promo code at thebrowfixacademy.com and get 50% off of all of our classes. These are great tools to enhance your service menu, enhance your revenue, and learn how to do all of these services. In-depth training by yours truly, me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.
I personally think the most important, or what causes this mainly, is clients coming in late. Or sometimes you do a service and you're just running late. So managing your time. So time management is very important, and that's what probably will help you drastically in not burning out, is time management and having a system in place. What's one habit or boundary you set that's made a big difference for you?
Well, as I've gotten longer in my career, I try to give myself a day to catch up on like emails or admin or stuff that I can do now. It's great because I have I work 3 days a week, and then my 2 days that I have, we can either film or do other stuff, or I can be with the baby too. So I have a little bit more of a schedule that I can, do all those things, but I can also, those days I can maybe sleep in a little more.
Yeah.
When I say sleep in, maybe, till 7 instead of waking up at 6, but still that does help. It's an extra hour of sleep, or, those things. Take a bubble bath at night, do things to relax me, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think for that, I would say your boundaries, or what one should do is self-care. That's really important. I would say it would be self-care and doing some admin work, but not overworking yourself. So by doing that, by doing your admin work or the work at home, you kind of clean up the rest of the week. So it makes it easier for you. So if you have that's the system in place that you have is, hey, I'm going to do my admin work and, do this and that. And
do it in your pajamas with a face mask on.
And the self-care and all that stuff. So that's the system in place. And then obviously when a client emails you that's something you can even set a system like, I'm going to respond. This is my time.
Automated or you mean like that? Yeah.
So when they email you, you usually have like an auto response, or let them know, hey, we're going to reach out to you within 24 hours or something like that. And then you can then have a set time between 9 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. or whatever time you want to schedule for yourself. This is when I respond to my emails. This is respond to my text messages. So you have that system in place. It makes everything more seamless for you. So time for checking your emails, time for responding to text messages, time for cleaning up your schedule even.
Posting on Instagram.
Yeah, doing so. You implement these times. So look at your work as a 9 to 5. Don't look at yourself, oh, am I booked? Oh, I'm busy for that time frame. Look at it as a 9 to 5. So if you're not busy from 9 to 10, you have no appointments. So if you're not busy from 9 to 10 a.m., maybe you can just doing stuff like that will ease your stress, because then you're not overwhelmed. Because when you get overwhelmed,
I get overwhelmed quickly because I can tend to be a procrastinator. Sasan is opposite of me. He does things right away, and so. I've had to learn to do the scheduling thing. Like when we first started, he bought me like a little planner, and he write out from 9 to 10, I'm going to check emails. From 10 to 11, I'm going to do X, Y, or Z. Have everything written down and then check off the boxes, which makes it seem more doable and manageable.
How can an esthetician, beauty salon owner, reignite their passion if they're feeling burnt out? What do you do to spark it again?
Well, I honestly, learning something new always sparks things for me, or like a new technique, or a new skill. So I remember when I learned lash lifting, that ignited something in me that I hadn't felt in a long time. Like, I've always loved to do brows, no matter what. Like, I don't think I would ever get sick of it. But learning a new skill, I think, is the way to beat that burnout. Yeah.
Going back to why you got started. So you obviously, when you start your business, there's a motivation behind that. Some people lose it. When we first got started, if you listen to our first episode, we said don't look at this as a hobby, look at it as a business. The first 2 months we're excited. We didn't have a system in place, but after that we set up a weekly meetings that we did. Mm-hmm. And these weekly meetings, we'll sit down and we set up goals. So if you set up goals for yourself every single week, then...
and we would print it out and write it out. Like, we're going to make X amount of dollars this week. We're going to sell this many products this week. We're going to, and we would we'd probably still have them somewhere, but we would fill it out every single week and look back and see where we came from.
What's our improvements. And that triggers, you're going back to the motivation of it. Like, this is why I did this because I want more freedom. I want to obviously make more money. I want to be my dream to have my own business. So when you do these weekly meetings, or even with yourself, this is the time we've set aside. You go over the weekly goals and you're like, hey, I want to have 8 appointments per day. Mm-hmm. I want to have 3 upsells a day, 3 rebookings for the next. What did we do? What was our?
It was like the amount we wanted to make per day, 3 bookings a day, like pre-books.
For your next appointment.
For their next appointment, because that's another technique of how to get booked up. You have to always pre-book people.
Yeah.
And then, we had like sell 3 products a day.
Yeah. So we had
we had like a whole list.
It was a 3-3-3 plan that we had. 3 upsells, 3 rebooks.
And not every day I would do the 3, but it kept me motivated of like, oh, okay, I just need one more, or I just need one more. Instead of just being like, oh, I don't know how much I sold, or I don't know what I did, or I don't,
Yeah, it's very important. In doing that with yourself, it's I think it will definitely spark that motivation. And now you have a reason, because like, hey, I need to hit this goal. Mm-hmm. I need to hit, let's say you start off, when you first start off like 3 appointments, 4 appointments a day. And then the following month I was like, all right, let me take that 4 into 6, 6 into 8, 8 to 10. And by the time you're in your 5th and 6th month, that's when I mentioned you have to have a 50 or 60% retention rate. That's when like, oh, I'm busy. And then it sparks like, hey, this is a legitimate business. I can onboard someone in the next 3 months, 4 months. And then you do the same rinse and repeat process with them. And now you have, your next esthetician that you bring in, your next employee that you bring in. But that keeps you motivated, I think, setting up goals and doing these weekly meetings with yourself or with your partner. What would you tell a beauty pro who feels like quitting? Like someone wants to quit right now.
Oh God, I've wanted to quit before for sure. You're not alone for sure. Things get challenging, especially when you're dealing with all different types of personalities and people. Sometimes clients can be difficult, but to me, I've always seen that as a challenge. Like some of my most difficult clients, I like want to make them love me. I'm like, I'm gonna make them love me. That's like the fire that comes from within me, But yeah, you definitely are gonna have tough days, just like anything. But it can be hard because we are doing a job, like I said, that gives so much energy. You have to protect yourself, and that's where, burnout can happen and feeling like quitting. But if you just keep going and figure out ways, everybody's different, obviously, but tools that help you deal with those things. Like if you figure out the right ways for yourself.
Yeah. I mean, for me to answer that question, if a beauty, usually they want to quit is because they feel like they're failing. Mm-hmm. But the reality is once you quit, you failed. You failed, and it's dealing through the obstacles and everything that comes in your way. That's life in general. So, I don't have appointments, or I'm losing money. This and that, and that's
try to figure out a different solution.
Don't give up.
What do they say? There's no problems, only solutions.
But don't quit. I mean, it's easier said than done. Mm-hmm. Don't give up. You're giving up on yourself. Just push through it. I know there's times where you're like, I have no clients. I'm not making no money. I can't do this anymore. And in reality, you have to spend money to make money. So you got to go then look at yourself and be like, hey, do I have a legitimate website? Because I see a lot of estheticians, solopreneurs, and I don't want to knock on anyone, but their websites
or they have no website. There's no way to find you.
That's your new business card.
Yeah.
Business cards don't exist these days. Yeah. Your website is your business card, and if you don't have one, then how are they going to find you? Yeah. If you don't have a Yelp directory listings, how are they going to find you? If you don't have a Google listing, how are they going to find you? And so on.
And your goal is to grow with new clients, not just the clients you have.
Yeah. And then running ads. So you're like, I'm not busy. I feel like we're just going into another topic, but this is what causes them to quit. You don't have clients, or you're not making money, and you just have to figure out what's causing these issues. If you're not running ads, when we first started, we did we didn't spend that much on ads. We probably spent $200-$300 a month on ads, and now we're spending significantly 10x that. So it's how you grow. But if you're not running ads, then how can people find you? If you're depending on word of mouth only, then
you're not going to grow.
You're not. You grow, but drastically slow. Like you're not gonna grow realistically if you're just thinking about word of mouth, or I'm gonna post on Instagram and all that stuff. So Instagram is more nationwide. It's not geo-targeted, where it's localized, where you're optimizing yourself locally to someone. It's just unrealistic. So don't figure out what's the problem, and then find a solution. And the solution is, hey, maybe I need to have a website, maybe I need to do this, maybe I have a legitimate book. Some people have phone calls and text messages to book an appointment.
I've seen people that they're like, DM to book. It's like, well, people are like, sometimes I've had this happen. I wake up in the middle of the night, can't sleep. I'm like, you know what? I need a haircut. So I can go online and book a haircut immediately. That's what I want to do. That's what you need. You need a booking system that you can book anytime, because people don't have very long attention spans.
We live in a world where we want instant gratification now.
Yeah.
Everything has to be instant. So someone wants to book, they want to just click it. They don't want to call.
They don't want to call or wait till
some
business
people like
hours.
calling. We get a lot of calls.
Yeah.
We get text messages still. We get DMs. And then we point them to our website. Like, hey, you want to book it? Go to our website. It's actually easier. And then they're like, oh, cool. And they go and they're like, oh, thank you. That was so much easier. So, yeah, that's what I would recommend. Find your solution. How important is it to charge what you're worth? And how does undercharging lead to burnout?
Well, if you're working hard and you're still broke, you'll burn out quicker. So that's
the quitting part comes in.
Yeah, that's where the quitting part comes in. So if you know that you do high quality services, then you need to charge what you're worth, and then, you can make more money and then have more freedom to not be, working as much. Although in the beginning you're going to work a lot. I mean, there's no way getting around that.
We're still working a lot. Just realistic. We're still, once you onboard more people, you work a lot.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah, I think in this industry, a lot of people or beauty pros, estheticians, all these naming conventions I'm getting, is that they don't value themselves. Know your worth. Know how much you're worth, and from there, that's my price. This is my quality of work.
But also don't get greedy with it, because I've seen people get greedy where it's like, I've only upped my price once, $5 from when I started. And when I go to LA, I do charge a little bit more, but you want people to be able to afford your services, as well. Like your loyal clients that love you, you don't want it to be out of people's budget, but also just charge what you're worth. You don't want to.
Well, that's the thing. You don't want to undercharge.
You don't want to overcharge.
You want to value yourself to know what your worth is. And at the same time, if let's say you're charging, I seen ridiculous pricings for certain services. I'm like, whoa. And if that's what they value themselves, amazing.
More power to you.
Yeah, that's amazing. And and they have their clientele.
And they have their niche of people.
Yeah,
they might not have as many, or it might be out of people's price range, but if that's what you want to do, and it works for you, then that's great.
Yeah, so know your price points, but value yourself and don't undercharge. So research, do a 3-mile radius research in your area. We're in Santa Monica, for example. I'll do a 3-mile research or search on what the price points are. I'll get the average, and then I'll say to myself, hey, I think we're a little bit more high end than some of these salons, and this is my price. And another way to do it is know what your hourly rate, like if you worked hourly, what would you say your rate would be? If you value yourself, what?
I don't know. What did we say?
No, I'm asking you what. $100, $200.
At least
$200. I mean, and then you figure out your price points from there. Like, I want to be worth $200 an hour. What price points do I have to set up to get my hourly rate at $200 or $100? If you say you're $100 an hour, so.
And that also rolls into how many services you can do in an hour too.
Yeah, and in our industry, which is very important, is you get tips as well. So that adds to your value. So that's one thing. So I think overall in this conversation, what would you say, like, to close it out with, like, with burnouts? How would you close this?
Just take care of yourself. It's really hard for me to listen to myself and listen to my body. But like I said, as I've gotten older and as I've had kids and family, it's really important. And people will understand too. everybody else understands.
Yeah.
You know, they have families too. So, you know,
Yeah,
don't want to be walked all over.
I would say it's inevitable. Is that the way to say it? It's going to happen. You're going to have a burnout day, week, month, and just stay positive. Meditation. Go to the point. Go back to why you did this. Your motivation, and know that you're not alone. I would say everyone in this industry has gone through it or is going through it at one point.
It's because you're using your body and mind. You know, you're not sitting at home on a computer where that can be very taxing mentally, but we're mentally doing it and we're also physically using our bodies. So you really have to take care of yourself. And if you want to be in this industry for a long time, you have to take care of your body for sure.
Value yourself.
Yep.
And take care of yourself. And we have Headspace that we have the app. Sometimes I just go and put it on.
I would give it to our employees.
Yeah. Oh, we're not yet, were we? We're going to be doing that.
We have given it to
a
couple of girls, yeah.
Oh, we did. Okay. So, yeah, and then because we know how tough it can be, and it really helps. And your mind is very powerful. Your body physically takes a toll, and you're stressed out on if you're making a good living. And
it all falls on your shoulders.
You're not alone, and fight through it. And if there's a problem, figure out the solution, and you don't have to do figure out all the problems at once, one by one. So, hey, the client's through the door, spend a little bit of money on marketing and go down and figure out all your solutions. But you're not alone, and, you know.
On that note.
Yeah, and I know this is, and don't forget to subscribe, like comment, share, and write a question below, and then we can always answer it in one of our topics, or even we might even use it as a topic of one of our next episodes. So thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.